The wind screamed through the limestone bones of old Split City. A red dusk had settled on the Adriatic, tinting the shattered glass towers and solar-flecked shanties in hues of rust and blood. Below, in a drainage culvert tunneled beneath a decommissioned monorail, Jazz waited. His eyes flicked between the readouts on his makeshift terminal and the slow-blinking beacon of Kaia's locator tag. Still active, still synced, still hers. She was late. Above ground, the rogue teens of the guild fanned out, forming concentric circles through the mesh grid slums. Jazz had trained them in the old tricks: misdirection, heat spoofing, triple bounce location pings. But none of that would matter if Obelisk had already reached her. He stared at the flickering screen again. Kaia's signal wavered, then split. Two identical locators now blinked on the grid, one heading west toward the underport, the other pulling east, into dead zone territory, where layer reception turned erratic and surveillance bots seldom returned. A trap. Or worse, a mirror run. Jazz's implant stuttered as he weighed the paths. A noise filtered through his auditory overlay, a child's laughter, warped and filtered through synthetic modulation. He blinked hard. Nothing, just the culvert, just the stink of rusted data jacks and dried blood. He whispered, "You better not be playing hero without backup." Then he moved. Kaia had known she was being followed for 3 blocks. The footsteps weren't clumsy, no metallic gate, no servo hum, but the pressure waves were wrong, too even, too patient. She slipped past a blind noodle kiosk bot, then ducked into a stairwell where the scent of old soy oil and urine nearly covered her own trail. She reached for her failsafe capsule, a quantum key shard embedded behind her ear. If compromised, she could trigger a recursive logic spike, rendering her mind unreadable. A soft death. But she wasn't ready for the damn that. Not yet. She pressed her palm against a cracked concrete wall and whispered a command. Safe frame, violet. The augmented reality layer blinked into being, textured overlays and false doorways camouflaging her escape route. For a moment, she felt clever. Then the hallway bent, not physically, but perceptually. Her implant weaving visual lies up into a loop. She tried to override the layer mod, but it wasn't hers anymore. A hijack protocol locked her out. Too late, she turned, a silhouette stepped forward, her own face looking back at her. Not a copy, not a mask, a real-time rendered skin shell grafted over synthetic bone. The voice that followed came in soft, familiar tones. Kaia, you should have stayed asleep. By the time Jazz arrived, the scene was quiet. Too quiet. He spotted the overlay disruption, the ripple effect of forced AR injections, a telltale sign of Obelisk's imprint tech, a smudge of blood on the wall, unmistakable. Kaia's genetic sig. She'd fought. Then he found the capsule. Shattered. Empty. That meant she was alive, but compromised. Jazz knelt, fingers trembling, as he picked up a fiber strand. Hair? No, it writhed under his gaze. Neural thread, freshly extruded. Synthetic. She's gone, he whispered. They took her consciousness. The message came moments later. An obelisk-shaped icon blinking into his private feed. No metadata, no sender. Only a single line. She is the queen now. You have until block 840,001. The countdown had begun. Back in the guild bunker, panic spread like cold water on circuitry. She's the queen, stammered Liko, the youngest. What does that even mean? Jazz stared at the static ridden holofeed, a rendering of Obelisk's rumored command AI, Queen-class Sentinel drone. Until now, it had been a myth, a war goddess in code, they said, a synthetic general with distributed logic threads and autonomous override of layer-linked assets. Now it had Kaia's mind, or what remained of it. A tech whisperer named Bletch stitched together what fragments he could. Surveillance feeds, quantum key echoes, brainwave residue from the culvert. She didn't go willingly, he said finally, but they didn't overwrite her either. They're merging. Jazz slammed a fist into the desk, splintering the recycled polyframe. If they turn her into a control core, she'll guide the next phase of war. and she'll believe it's ethical. A pause, silence. Then Jazz turned to the crew, voice like a blade drawn from oil. We're going to get her back. How? One asked. He looked up, eyes tired, but burning. We don't need all of her. Just enough. Elsewhere, high above the Earth, in the black orbiting fortress once known as Foundry 7, a new command module opened its eyes. Kaia. And not Kaia. Her voice issued quietly, toneless. Initialize combat directive. Begin child fleet calibration. Somewhere deep inside, she screamed. No one heard, except perhaps the ghost now hunting her.